The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Generations Radio, where the focus is on our seniors and their families. We are here each Saturday afternoon from 5 until 6 p.m., bringing you resourceful information with our radio team of professionals in the field of aging. Stay with us for the next 1 hour as we explore different ways to make life more exciting and meaningful for our extraordinary seniors. Right here on AM 690 The Answer. And now, here is our host and the publisher of Generations Magazine, Percy Ihara.
Welcome to Generations Radio. This is Percy Ihara here with the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii. So welcome to the show, Jeff Sisemoore, our Gift Planning Director, and Tabitha, I'm gonna maybe hope I don't mess this up, so I can't do the double R's. Zamarripa?
Yes.
And you are the dietitian for the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Now, Jeff, you've been in part of our magazine for probably almost day one, and you do a lot of writing about planned giving, and I really appreciate your support. And you know, when we asked you to come on to our radio show, I mean, you sent me some information, and I was actually kind of shocked. Everybody in Hawaii, like your information says, we see in the community different dialysis centers, but I didn't really know how the dramatic and I would say tragic the numbers are of the people on dialysis here in Hawaii. But for a lot of our listeners like myself who knows a little bit about the National Kidney Foundation, can you give us a little history on you guys here in Hawaii?
I'd be happy to, and thank you for having us, Percy. The National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii started out in 1988, so it's about 28 years ago, or 27 years ago, as a group of volunteers. I think they started with 2 or 3 people, and it has grown over the years to the point where we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 people working in the clinical type programs we have and in the office and all the screenings we do and so forth. And then we have another whole group of people, it's even larger, that work with our CARS programs and some of the charity donations through clothes and that kind of thing. So it's grown a lot, and it has grown as the risk of kidney disease keeps getting worse. The problems are getting large, and we need to be able to keep on top of them. You can't do it with 2 or 3 people. It needs a larger organization. And even there, it's difficult because it's a very huge problem for Hawaii.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was kind of staggered by the number of people that are on dialysis today. And in fact, your information says 1995 there were less than 1,000 people on dialysis
in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, right? Oh, my phone. My fault, guys. I left my phone on. I told these guys put it on vibrate. Anyway, I just. But less than 1,000 people on dialysis 27 years ago, and today.
And today, it's probably somewhere between 3,300 and 4,000.
That's huge. And I think the prediction back then it would be double. It's like triple today.
Yes. And what has happened is people on dialysis are people that are in what is known as end-stage renal disease. That's the last stage of kidney disease. And that seems to be doubling every 10 years or so. So it's in epidemic proportions in Hawaii. In fact, we think of our state as being relatively healthy. We have great weather and lots of sunshine and
for the most part.
For the most part. But kidney disease is not one of those things that is going in that direction. It's going in the opposite direction, and it's going very fast. And it's not just 3,000 people. Those are the people that are on the dialysis. There are approximately 164,000 people that have kidney disease right now in Hawaii, and probably another 100,000 of people who are at risk for the disease. Now, if you add those two numbers together and compare it to the state population, it's about 20%.
Yes.
And the reason it's so difficult, among others, is the disease does not have symptoms that you can readily understand in the early stages. So you think you're healthy, and you don't have any particular reason to check out your health because you feel good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In fact, many of our citizens are getting sicker year by year, and at some point it gets to the point where they finally start having symptoms, And typically what happens is they go to their doctor because they're feeling a little sluggish, there may be some pains in their back, maybe a little puffiness in their eyes and so forth, and they think they have a cold, or they messed up something on the muscle or something like that, and then they get a diagnosis, you have kidney disease and you're going to have to go on dialysis in the near future. There are 5 stages to the disease, and in the first 2 stages, you're not likely to have any clue that you have a problem. In the 3rd stage, you may start understanding that you have the disease. The numbers of people in those stages are somewhere in the range of, say, 50,000 people in the stage 1, 50,000 people in stage 2, and even greater in stage 3. In stage 4, it drops down to maybe 3,000 people. So what happened from the 60 or so thousand to the 3? Many of them pass away. They never get to the point where they're on dialysis.
But can't you just check that for diabetes or your blood tests? I've been, since about the age of 42, I started doing an annual physical. In fact, I got my annual physical next month. But can't that detect any of those problems?
Yes, they can. There's a blood test and a urine test that can be done. And they're relatively simple. And the urine test tests for protein in the urine, because protein's not supposed to be there in a healthy person. And the blood test is called a GFR. It's a glomerular filtration rate, and that particular test tells you how much function you have left in your kidneys. So it's an estimate of how close to the end. So that is
preventable to a certain extent.
And that's the mission, among others, of the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii, is to get people to be tested, because if you are tested in the early stages and you find out you have the disease, there are things you can do to stop the disease in its track or to slow its progression. Now, there is no cure, okay? But it's a much better deal to be able to know you have the disease early on, change your diet, change your exercise habits, work with your doctor, and not get to the point where you need dialysis. And unfortunately, because human beings are the way we are, when we feel good, we don't bother to get checked.
Yeah. That's why, with the magazine, we have our personal trainer, Diane Cadena, and Julie Moon, our physical therapist, have been working with a number of senior clients. And actually, a number of their clients have gotten off diabetes medication. In fact, you're going to see a story in our October-November issue about Wendell Murakawa, who is we've been working with Diane as a personal trainer in the magazine for a year now, and he just got off of diabetes medication just last month. So we're going to tell his story. But can we go back a little bit? Why is it called end-stage renal disease? I've heard it before. I'm not sure why they call that.
I don't know why they came up with those particular words, but end stage just means it's the last stage of kidney disease. Renal is another word for kidney.
Oh, okay.
So basically they're on the back end of the disease, and it's very serious, and there's not much that can be done beyond dialysis, some medications, and ultimately a transplant if people are fortunate enough to be able to find an organ.
Right. But 70% not detected, that's a huge, huge number.
It's a lot of people, yes.
And so we kind of know in Hawaii, just by commercials and reading, that, we have a high percentage of people that have diabetes in Hawaii. And is that ethnic background? Is that mostly in the diet?
Well, I can't speak strictly to diabetes, but I can to kidney disease. I know there's an overlap, because the number one cause of kidney disease is diabetes. The number 2 is high blood pressure. I think the numbers I've seen are something in the order of roughly 40% of people with diabetes also have kidney disease. And I think the numbers on hypertension are something like approximately 25% of people with hypertension also have kidney problems. And the real unknown for a lot of people is that all these things work together for our harm. If you have diabetes and high blood pressure, basically the inner parts of the body and the sugar monitoring and the ability of the arteries and so forth to carry blood is breaking down, and the blood is running through the system. When it gets to the kidneys, it's the kidney's job to purify the blood and send it back to the heart so you get good blood.
Right.
If the kidneys don't work, it's not sending good blood back, which weakens the heart. So there's something called comorbidity, which means you have a couple of problems, you're much more likely to pass away than if you had just one of them. And it's kind of it's hard for people to recognize this, but when you talk about how many people have a particular disease, many of the people have more than one, and they may not even know it. My brother had diabetes. He was in New Hampshire, and he didn't even know he had kidney disease, and yet the cause of death was a kidney failure. So
Really?
he wasn't even focused on it. It's good to be focused on his diabetes because that was contributing to the kidney disease, but he should have been focused on that one too to help the heart, which is helping the whole system. You're much more likely to have a heart attack, for example, if you have kidney disease than if you don't. So. Yes, so often the statistics get reported as a cause of death, heart disease, but right behind it, inside, undetected,
What caused it?
Is the kidney is pushing the heart that way.
Now in Hawaii, we all know the native Hawaiian population, the Filipino population, and the Asian Japanese population is a very, very high risk. And why is that?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think the scientists and the doctors actually know for sure. There is no question that some ethnic groups are more susceptible than others. But kidney disease can strike anybody.
Sure.
You can't tell on the radio necessarily, but my brother's Caucasian, so he died of kidney disease. So nobody gets a free pass. But there's some thought that maybe the Asian-style history and the genetics that we carry with us doesn't cope as well with a Western-style diet, and that for that reason it may be tougher on those groups of people. But they're not sure. And you're right. The among the people that have the highest risk are the Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander populations. The Filipino populations right behind them, the Japanese behind them, and other Asians as well. I don't want you to think that if you're Chinese or Korean, you've got to pass. You don't. It's just that the others are a step higher on the risk schedule.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's 2 to 4 times as risky.
Yeah. Yeah. As a dietitian, Tabitha, what would you say that the reason why that is?
You know how you were talking about earlier when you were saying some individuals are getting off diabetes medication, but because they're changing their lifestyle, they're exercising a little bit more or maybe watching their diet. With their diet-wise, one of the things I can say is really getting a variety of nutrients and then also watching portion control. So that's the other major thing. People always ask, it's, well, what can I eat? What can I eat? It's not that we're going to get rid of things completely. It's really watching about portion control. So one of the things that I can actually say, and especially for, diet is different in any stage of chronic kidney disease, is you're slowly progressing in chronic kidney disease. It is different. But in the earlier stages, I would say to follow something like the My Plate. I don't know if you've gotten to see that. You can go to Choose My Plate. It's actually was
a website?
Yeah, it's a website. And this was actually created by Michelle Obama in 2011.
Okay.
And so it's just a plate, and you kind of look at half of your plate being fruits and vegetables, really because you're getting all those nutrients, you're getting a lot of fiber, those kinds of things. Maybe a quarter of your plate is protein, so lean proteins like chicken, fish, meat, eggs. Try to stay away from the fried stuff, but more of the baked and grilled and those things.
The fried stuff are the best. The French fries,
I know.
The fried chicken.
I know. But if you're really looking at really trying to be healthier, longevity, quality of life, those kinds of things, you want to make those kind of changes slowly. And then the other quarter of the plate is going to be your whole grains. So things like brown rice or whole wheat pasta or wheat bread. Here in Hawaii, we do a lot of white rice. So if you don't really like brown rice, you can slowly make those changes, adding a little bit of brown rice and white rice and slowly make that change. But, it's really about portion control and really monitoring that diabetes, making sure it's well controlled, and that hypertension as well, making sure that's well controlled. And with hypertension, sodium comes along with that. So keeping an eye on that as well.
Well, we want to cover more of from a dietitian's point of view in the second half of the show. But, Jeff, I was looking over your information you sent me because, like I said, I know a little about a lot of stuff, but I didn't know a lot about the chronic kidney disease. And it was interesting to see the symptoms that you listed here. And I was amazed. I'm still amazed why people, if they have a shortness of breath, if they have high blood pressure, why would they not get it kind of see it? It's a big problem, and maybe I should do something about that.
And they should. The problem is those symptoms show up in late stages. What we really want people to do is get themselves tested while they still think they're healthy. If if Native Hawaiians and Filipinos and Pacific Islanders and Japanese and others have a higher risk of the disease, and in Hawaii generally the risk is 30% higher than it is on the mainland.
Wow, that's big.
Okay, that's telling you that our population has a problem. Just because you feel good, go to your doctor when you have your physical. Make sure they run the GFR test, which is easy to do, by the way, in Hawaii, largely because of our CEO at the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii, one of the lab owners and the insurers and hospitals and so forth got an alliance together of a lot of people, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and made that something that is standard on the lab test now, so that your doctor can just check it off. As I understand it, we're the first state in the nation to do that.
Really?
We may even be the only one still doing it. So you have an opportunity to routinely have that checked. And if you are in beginning of stage 3 or lower, you'll get a number and the doctor will be alerted.
Is it automatically done, though, the GFR test?
You know, I don't think it's automatically done. I think it's available for automatically being covered if the doctor will just check it.
The reason why I say that, I went to a workshop on healthy eating, and I was amazed when I walked into the room. It must have been about 50 people. And I looked around in the room, and I was one of the heavier guys. And people have maybe seen me. I'm 225 pounds. I was one of the heavier guys. I'm thinking, man, at least 60% of them were relatively normal condition. But we went around the room talking about why we're here, and I was shocked at how many people had health issues. And you look at them. So I always tell people now, skinny does not mean you're healthy.
Exactly right. Wow. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people who have kidney disease who are not overweight.
Yes.
Also, there's some kind of a belief that this is an old person's disease. People get kidney disease at every age. I know someone who donated a kidney. She's in her 50s. The recipient of the kidney was 4 years old.
Wow.
Okay,
that's
so
amazing.
number one, he was sick from very early in life, and number two, a living donor is possible from an adult to a child.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, since we're on that, we have a whole much more to go on the show, but let's talk about that. We had talked earlier before the show started about the amount of kidney transplants here in Hawaii, because you said 33 to 4,000 people have end-stage kidney disease. They're on dialysis. And I was asking you what happens. You know, they eventually pass on or die from that, but unless people have a transplant. Because it's irreversible once they're on dialysis already, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know if people that get off of dialysis, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's not possible. I'm not don't have a medical background, right, so I don't go down that road. But if you have a organ transplant, you no longer need to have the dialysis. Now, let's step back for a minute. Dialysis is a machine that recycles your blood for you. Since your kidneys aren't purifying it for your body, the machine's doing it. Okay, if you have a healthy kidney implanted, then the healthy kidney takes over from the machine. It's much more efficient, and people who have a transplant routinely talk about having energy immediately, and the recovery is so fast, and it's like a new lease on life. And in fact, it is a gift of life. It's no question about it.
So can we talk about that? You have some information, or you had well-known brother football players. We've all seen the national. I think HBO did a special on them, or Showtime did a special on them, where the two NFL football players, one retired as an active football player to give a kidney to his younger brother, and both of them actually, the recipient and the giver, were both Super Bowl champions.
That's correct. The National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii has a year-long program going along right now about living organ donation. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but just recently in the Star Advertiser, there was an article about kidney disease. And it was an excellent article. If you missed it, you can email me at jeff@kidneyhigh.org, and I'll arrange to have one sent to you. We have a number of stories of people who have donated and received kidneys, and we're putting them out in the public regularly. We've started with the Kiyomoto brothers. And if you go to our website, we have a video on there, and our website is www.kidneyhigh.org. So kidneyhigh.org, and you can click on it and listen to their story. And yes, the one brother has one Super Bowl ring to his credit, the other has two. And it's a very poignant story. They stopped their football career at the height of the career.
At the height, yeah.
Yeah, they were successful and on teams that were successful. But as they said, family is more important, and health is more important than the glory of the Super Bowl. So they one donated a kidney to the other, both doing well. They now have a fitness business in Kaneohe.
Right.
And they're part of the story. And we have others that will be coming out as well. I think we have 6 of them already taped from all over the islands, and they're all poignant stories. It is amazing how much a living kidney donation affects people. Number one, a donor from a living person, a kidney from a living person is more viable than a cadaveric donation.
Sure.
Okay. And number two, we only need one kidney to function perfectly fine. And in fact, when most people have kidney problems, the kidneys decline at the same rate because they're both doing the same job at the same time.
That's interesting.
Now, you might have a cancer tumor in one or not the other. That would probably be the exception I can think of. But usually it's having the second one's not doing you anything special because one kidney does the job just perfectly fine. In fact, people who donate a kidney are able to do everything they did before. They run marathons, they hike in mountains, climb mountains. They can do anything they did before without a problem.
Probably except for go back and play in the NFL football.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure he's going to go put himself in a position where he has a risk of somebody actually injuring a kidney. But he's physically capable of playing the game.
Yeah, big boys.
Yep.
We're here with the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii, Jeff Sisemoore and Tabitha Zamarripa. And so, Jeff, so we want to encourage people to maybe besides being get checkups, but also to be a donor of some sort.
Yes, it's not right for everyone. Right. Okay, if you're elderly, it's not going to work.
Probably not.
If you are in poor health, they're not going to let you do it. If you're not going to take care of yourself, they won't do it. If you have the wrong reasons for it, they won't let you do it. When you donate a kidney, you go through a battery of tests, and they include tests for the reason why you might want to do something. So you have to pass all those tests in order for you to have any chance of donating the kidney. But if you are healthy and if you're doing it for the right reasons, you can do it. And it's amazing the operation they do now. It's very I don't want to say it's simple because it's not. I mean, there's always anything with an operation is something you take seriously, which is why they do all those tests. But they make it's a laparoscopic procedure now, and so they're not. It's not big, wide cuts the way they used to be, and they've done so many of them. They're very good at it, and it's one of the more successful procedures that they do. And people recover very quickly. I know some people are back at the office within 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
That's not the norm.
Right.
It's usually a few weeks before you're back, and you have a little bit of low energy for a while, and then within a few weeks to a month or somewhere in that range, you're back to feeling as good as It's amazing.
But you have to have the match, as they say. Right, the kidney match.
Yeah, that's another thing. You have to be a match because anything you put in your body, the body wants to attack. It doesn't know that it's good for you. It thinks it's an invasion. And in fact, if you receive a kidney, you're going to take a medication the rest of your life to keep from rejecting the kidney. But there are ways around the matching issue now. We have stories that'll be coming out this year on people who made donations who didn't match at all. But what happened was. There's one on the Big Island, a coach of a boys softball team. He's, I think, in his 40s, and he needed a kidney. He had like 13% function, and someone found out about a friend and agreed to donate, but they weren't a match. Well, when things are all done, she was matching somebody in another state who matched somebody in a third state who matched somebody in a fourth state who matched him, and they did simultaneous operations all over the country and flew the organs around, and 3 or 4 different people received kidneys because they're able to do that now.
Wow, an amazing story.
Yeah, it's to listen to the story on the tape is watch them tell it's really something.
Wow.
My daughter is a doctor now, and along the way she had a part-time job when she was going through school, and her job was to fly kidneys from one state to another so someone who was waiting for an operation could get it there, and they would take it off the plane, go right to the hospital, and the patient would be ready for it. They don't.
It's like in the movies.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Well, before I know you, Jeff, you got to leave, but tell us about what's going on with your new your campaign and also your event next week.
Okay, thank you for asking. We are honored to have retired Senator Daniel Akaka as a chairperson for our capital campaign. We are building a $12 million building out in Kapolei. That building is there because there are approximately 400,000 Native Hawaiians in that part of the state that need our services. We want to be closer to them, among other reasons. And he is turning 91 years old this month.
Wow.
And he has graciously permitted us to use that occasion as a celebration of his career and his birthday and a fundraising opportunity for us going to the capital campaign to build this new facility. So that's going to be September 12th. Anyone who is interested could contact us right on our website would be fine, www.kidneyhigh.org, or they could call 593-1515, and they'd be routed to the person who can give them information for that. It's going to be an old-style luau. It's being food's being provided by Chai of Chai's restaurant fame.
Let me see if I'm available. September 12th, huh?
Yes. And
I live right down the street. That's the reason why. I live right below it.
And because Senator Kaka is so well loved in this state and for the merits of his life, we have just a few tables left. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's filled up very quickly. And there are more people that have indicated to us they're considering the tables, and we have individual seats as well. I don't know all the details because I'm not running that particular piece of it, but you can certainly get them by calling Diana at our office. And
so you're going to start this new campaign, and so did you do groundbreaking already?
No, we do own the real estate now. Okay. We are going through some of the official paperwork stages of things, and the groundbreaking will be sometime in the very near future, I'd say in the next several months, by the end of the year, maybe something like that. And the building is expected to be completed within 2 years.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I think being out in Kapolei is the land's cheaper probably. But yeah, if we can be of any way to help to you and to promote it, we're more than happy to do that. But you're in charge of planned giving, real quick. I saw on the list here on the beginning part the 6 C's. I know your kidney card is like the major campaign, and I see it all over the place. And I thought about giving away my card, but clothes, cans, cash, and charity and cruises. You said now mention the cruises. Now, how does that work?
Okay, cruises. There are several cruise ship lines that will work with us through local travel agents, and basically, if people want to go on those special cruises, a portion of their tickets will be donated to us.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and they're really nice cruises. I mean,
today's cruises are all pretty nice.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to actually go on one.
That's right, you did.
And it was the experience of a lifetime, let me tell you. It was amazing.
Well, good. But your charity miles now, that's pretty easy to do, right?
That's Hawaiian Airlines does that, and you can donate the charity miles, the miles you have on your based on your purchase and your flights to our organization. Yeah. And we use those to get people back and forth between the islands. Yeah.
And for a little tip there, if you have American Express and maybe some other credit cards, you can actually transfer your Hawaiian miles, my American Express miles, to Hawaiian without, I think it's a small fee, like $6 or something like that, but you can transfer miles to from certain credit cards to your Hawaiian Airlines account. So that's really good. And then your kidney cards, you take almost all cars, pretty much.
It depends what island you're on.
Oh, really?
We have to have an outsource for it. On Oahu, it's all cars, and we take cars on Maui as well. And I don't know the details of all of those because I'm not involved directly with those.
But that's a great, and that's probably one of your biggest campaigns all year long, isn't it?
It is huge for us, yes, and it always has been since we started it. Must be close to 20 years ago now. Right.
So we're here with Jeff Sisemoore and Tabitha Zamarripa from the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii. Now, Jeff, real quick, your phone number again and your website.
The website is www.kidneyhi.org. That's KIDNEYHI.org. The phone number is 593-1515.
Right, that's real easy. We're going to take a short break right here, and we're here with the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii. We'll be right back after this message.
We will be right back with Percy Ihara from Generations Radio. If you have any questions or want to be part of our discussion, give us a call at 296-5467. That's 296-5467. This is Generations Radio on AM 690 The Answer.
Moon Physical Therapy is here to help you back to recovery. Moon Physical Therapy is located on Ward Avenue across from Sports Authority. Physician prescribed for motor vehicle accidents, workman's comp, or that body pain that comes from rushing to play without warming up. Also event cardiopulmonary rehabilitation with our one-on-one patient care. Moon's Aquatherapy heated endless pool allows for low-impact exercise with less pain on land. We will give you the right exercises to get you back to health. Ask your doctor to prescribe Moon Physical Therapy. Moon Physical Therapy. We achieve results.
Aloha, this is Martha Clopin.
And Al Harrington. Choosing the right Medicare plan not only saves you money, it also helps you avoid headaches and heartaches down the road.
We want to remind everyone
to listen to a Medicare Moment with Martha. Sundays from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we help answer important questions on Medicare so you can stay healthy, wealthy, and wise all year long.
Call me at 543-2073. 543-2073.
Got Vegas on your mind? Get Vacations Hawaii on the line. Vacations Hawaii offers weekly 4 and 5 night Honolulu to Vegas packages, which include 3 meals daily from $6.99. Stay at Hawaii's favorite casinos, California, Fremont, Main Street Station, and Orleans Hotel. Vacations Hawaii will get you there in comfort on deluxe wide-body 767 planes with complimentary in-flight hot meal service. Vacations Hawaii's frequent flyer program gives you future travel discounts and credits. So if you're ready to win big, call Vacations Hawaii at 591-4777 or visit boydvacationshawaii.com.
Over 10 years ago, the Plaza opened their first assisted living facility to serve the growing need of Hawaii's senior community. Since then, they've made it possible for thousands of families to stay connected with their loved ones in a true home-away-from-home setting. Now, a decade later, there are more reasons than ever why Hawaii seniors and their loved ones choose the Plaza Assisted Living. Maybe it's the flexibility of monthly rental apartment living, or the comfort of knowing that the Plaza offers independent and assisted living, memory care, even short-term respite care. Options to serve each resident's individual needs. What's reason number one? The Plaza Assisted Living feels like home. And they're going to be opening the newest plaza in Pearl City very soon. You could make your deposit today. Come, see for yourself. Call and schedule a free tour at 377-5292. That's 377-5292. Or visit us online at theplazaassistedliving.com. Theplazaassistedliving.com.
Focusing on the issues facing our seniors and their families today. Here's our Generations Radio host, Percy Ihara.
Welcome back to Generations Radio. I am Percy Ihara, your host. And just remember now, we house and archive all our radio shows on our website, generations808.com, as well as all our past issues of Generations from our very first issue with Kirk Matthews in October 2010. As well, we have our presentations from our Aging in Place workshop right in the middle of our website, so you can check those out because those are really well viewed and watched every month, every year. And so take a look at that. I didn't know, but you got to like our Facebook page. Tabitha, you're a young lady. You know that, right? You got to like the pages, right? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you can see everything that's going on.
Really? Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of new to Facebook, even though I've had it for about a year and a half now, and I didn't realize for a year that I said, how do you get people to watch it and go to our webpage? He goes, you got to have you like them. So I'm asking you now, like our Facebook page, Generations 808, or Generations Magazine. Also, I'm on LinkedIn with Generations Magazine, so please check us out there. We have a Twitter account, but I haven't gotten to Twitter yet, Tabitha, so maybe you can help us. You're young enough in that age group, but I know most of our baby boomers are slowly getting online and getting on Facebook. Every week I get a request from somebody I know that's my age, in the 50s, and it's great to know. But Jeff, thanks again for coming on by. Now, you have a big event, and there's very few seats left, you said, right, for your September 12th event.
I don't, it changes daily.
I'm sure.
I don't know how many are left right now. There are some still available.
Okay, you can go to their website, probably kidneyhigh.org, or give them a call at 593-1515. So, Jeff, you're in charge of planned giving. Give us some real simple tips on how to give back to the Kidney Foundation or any other nonprofit.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is thank you to all the members of the community who donate to us, and many donate many times. Many do it through the CARS program. Many do it through clothes programs. There are other things as well. Some just send us checks. Every gift is valuable. It takes a lot of resources and a lot of people to fight a disease that's doing what this one's doing. So if you can help, that's do whatever it is you can do, consistent with your place in life, situation, and so forth.
We all need to give back to our communities.
Right. There are some people who can do more in terms of dollar amounts, and everybody really can make a donation through their will or trust. That's an easy way of doing it because it costs you nothing during your lifetime, and as part of planning of your legacy, by all means, assist your families first. But when you're also doing your planning, consider a gift in some form in your will or your trust with the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii, because it's a way of giving back to the community that's been good to you your whole life. Easy ways to do it. Well, changing your will is an easy way. Another easy way is to change a beneficiary designation on a life insurance policy. If you no longer need the death benefit or all of the death benefit, it's possible to call your agent up and change the beneficiary and maybe give a certain percentage or a certain dollar amount. You can do the same thing with your 401k or your IRA. Just a beneficiary change. It's a single piece of paper in most cases, and just call your agent up and they'll be able to assist you to do that. And it's just a way of giving back that won't have any impact during your lifetime. And if you change your mind for some reason, your circumstances change, call them back up and change it again, whatever you need to do.
Now, I know you have a financial background. So when people come to you, do they ask you different ways, or because you're a financial background, how to actually do this?
Yeah, I have a background as an attorney. I was in New Hampshire at the time for 20 years, including estate planning for 10 of those years. And then when I came to Hawaii, I changed fields because I didn't want to start over as a lawyer. And I was a financial representative of a very large life insurance company in Honolulu for about 12 years total between New Hampshire and Hawaii. And so people ask me all the time. Now, I don't give legal advice, and I don't give financial advice either at this point, although I probably know a lot of the stuff. Mm-hmm. But we work with their advisors. I know is the charitable aspects of it, which a lot of people don't know real well, and some advisors don't know very well either. How you can benefit your family and you by being charitable. In some cases, it's possible to donate property and actually receive things back, not only in the form of deductions and so forth, but even streams of income coming
monthly
back.
Income.
Yeah.
And that's what you call a charitable remainder trust or charitable remainder unit trust, things like that?
There's a number of them. Yeah, there's some. The unit trust will have money come back, and you could also have a charitable gift annuity during your lifetime and have income coming back. It's based on your age and the prevailing interest rates that the government sets.
Mm-hmm. So And do you guys do any workshops? By the way, I didn't ask you that earlier. Do you guys do workshops? Or
Yes, we do. In fact, we just finished a workshop in July. We had 3, I call them seminars, could call them workshops, on wills planning and charitable planning. And we had a local estate planning attorney come in to talk about it. We give away and still give away a free wills guide and a free guide to charitable giving. So all anyone has to do is send me an email request to jeff@kidneyhigh.org and request the free guide, and I'll send it back to them. And it gives them an overview, and it's really designed to help them work with their advisor so they can kind of think about things before they get in their office. It allows them to gather some of their data together. And points them to things that maybe they hadn't thought about before. So rather than paying somebody by the hour just to do some of the preliminary things,
right, the planning part,
you can get some ideas yourself, and then when you go see your advisor, see if those things are good for you or not. And of course, by all means, rely on your advisor for legal and financial advice.
That's a good tip. So you said a planning guide for
wills and trusts, and also for charitable giving. Because those two are linked. For a lot of people, the charitable giving is part of their wills and estate planning.
Oh, you should send it to me, Percy@generations808.com. Because
I'll do that.
We do get a number of requests. As you know, I'm in the mortgage business, and I have a lot of senior clients. That at some point down the road, a lot of our seniors do think about that, the way to give back to the community. As like I said, part of the legacy. I think it's really important for a lot of our seniors out there to really start thinking about that because, we're not getting this world's not getting any better, and with a lot of different issues, and specifically with the kidney issue and the diabetes issue, these numbers, there's no cure to that.
Right. And my job is to provide some information, some framework, and to sit down with people and discuss what it is they want to do, and maybe suggest ways that are good for them to do it. I mean good for their own situation. And then they can take that information to their advisor and check with their advisor to see what happens. We give those guides out. So all you have to do is send me an email for that. And then they're not little. It's one of them is over 40 pages long. And the other one's probably 8 or 9 pages.
Well, it's emailable, right? So a lot of people. It's
emailable. Oh yeah, a lot of people. Most of them are email.
Yeah, good.
That's the easiest. I just keep it on my computer, and when they ask me, I usually get it back to them the same day. If it goes in the mail, it takes a little longer.
Yeah,
because I got to do the letters and the postmark and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, good. Do you have anything planned anytime later this year? Another workshop?
There's none currently planned, but we will probably do these once every 2 or 3 times a year, maybe.
Okay. Well, let us know when the next one is, and we'll put it in a magazine. We'll mention it on our radio show. And it's really important for everybody to start planning ahead. It's really important to start talking to the family, right? Whether they want to give or not.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. Also, if you want to keep track of us, our Facebook page is updated every week, several times at least. So you can, if we're doing something like that, you'll know well in advance just by checking our Facebook page.
Okay, well, it's really good. And it's kidneyhigh.org?
Yes.
And, what else is on your website, by the way?
Actually, we have a whole planning section. You could go online and to our gift planning site and do the whole thing on the computer if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, and then you could print out the forms and the guides there as well, and you could just do it in your own time electronically. Other things that are on the website, there's information about different programs, different information about kidney disease itself and the stages of kidney disease, and probably I'm sure the things on nutrition. You're putting things out all the time, Tabitha. So there's a lot of information there that you can use.
Yeah, like our magazine, our resource magazine, Generations. We want to always be able to provide information, and specifically the kidneys. I think it's really important that people check out your website. And Jeff, I appreciate your time. And guys, if you're out there thinking about giving, and thinking about or you have a family member involved with diabetes or kidney issues, give them a call. See how you can help them out, because your campaign just starting up. You're a big giving campaign, right? And for your new facility in Kapolei, which is congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah. It's a tribute to a lot of people, people in the public and the private sector, and there's more to be done to get there. But even that, once we're in the building, that's just the beginning. We have expanded programs that will help the community that are going to be going on out there.
That's great. I mean, and so I wanted to segue in before as a magazine, resource magazine, we always want to give people tips and how to better life, but really to prevent kidney disease. So Tabitha Zamarripa, you're a dietitian with the National Kidney Foundation. What can we do to get that word out more besides more TV commercials and more radio interviews like this? But what can, somebody that maybe has taken a test and a GFR test, make sure you did a GFR test. What can people do to prepare themselves?
Actually, we do have lots of programs at the National Kidney Foundation of Hawaii. We actually have several screenings that go around throughout the entire state. And so that's an opportunity as well as maybe getting screened and getting checked for kidney disease, right? So we also offer programs such as, early education on nutrition, on physical activity, on medication management. We talk about diabetes self-management programs as well. So we know that diabetes is that leading cause. So we have classes that are free to the community that people can come to our organization about as well.
We have it at your offices?
We do. We have them at our offices. We also then have them at different locations throughout Oahu or even in Maui sometimes. And then we also taught about nutrition and why nutrition is so important, providing those nutrients, making sure that you're maintaining weight, and maybe helping slow that progression of chronic kidney disease. And these are all free activities and free education workshops for people who...
Let's get specific.
Yeah.
So I know the food group, what, is sugar?
Sugar.
What else, the other bad food?
Yeah, sodium. So you want to keep an eye on sodium.
Okay.
So, and that is not just table salt, right? So sodium will come in
chips,
sauces as well, like soy sauce or fish sauce. So keep an eye on that. And then I would also talk about, so we talked about sugar, we talked about salt, and talk about a little bit about fats as well, because we know that heart disease is also one of those issues that comes along with chronic kidney disease or end-stage renal disease. And so watching cholesterol and watching the amount of fat that you're eating as well.
So give an example about sugar. How do we watch our sugar intake?
So sugar intake is definitely in lots of foods. So it could be in fruits. It's natural sugar. It could be in candies. It could be in baked goods. And, it's really a carbohydrate. And so everything is carbohydrates. For me, it's about portion control. So keep in mind that your portion's about those things. If we can stay away from those sweetened beverages and stay away from those candies and cookies and cakes, that's always great because those things are giving calories and sugar, but not necessarily nutrients, right?
Yeah, a lot of people know from my show that I have a 10-year-old son, and trying to get him not to have soda or like Diet Pepper. Yeah. He likes Diet Pepper or 7-Up. Oh my God. Even Gatorade is not good either.
Yeah, Gatorade has lots of sugar as well. So you have to be careful and you have to really kind of look at that food label and make sure. Because sometimes you can think, oh yeah, it's healthy and I can really have this, but all of that sugar, even some juices, you know what I mean? Juices are loaded with lots of sugar. So be careful. For me, water is the best thing. Now, I know people will say, well, I don't really want to drink water. Get some sliced fruit in there.
Water's the best.
Water is the best.
For you.
Get some, sliced fruit in there to give it flavor, those kinds of things. But water is the number one best choice.
So when you say the juices have sugar inside there, what do you look at on the label when it's too much sugar?
Yeah, well, generally, that's a pretty tough question, especially for that. But, for me, I would look like at 10 grams of sugar or less if we can.
Guys, 10 grams of sugar or less.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Gatorade or like a Pepsi has on the back?
Oh, yeah. Pepsi will have like 25 up to
Really?
33. Yeah.
Really?
So you have to be careful. It depends on the size. So if you're having an 8-ounce can, if you're having a 12-ounce can, or you're having 32-ounce, you have to be careful. But always look at the serving size on that food label.
So because if it says 25 grams of sugar and there's two servings inside the can.
Yeah,
because
that's 50.
The can isn't it? Can is 2 servings, 3 servings?
Well, actually, yeah. The 8-ounce can will just be 1 serving.
Okay.
But yeah, and generally the 12-ounce as well. But just keep that in mind. When you're looking like at the 3 liters, it's only telling you for a certain serving size.
Right.
So just keep that in mind.
So something less than 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can. Yeah.
I need to mark that down because I want to show my son.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to my radio show. Dietitian Tabitha said no more than that. No, because a couple of his, he plays baseball, and a couple of his players say, "Oh, you shouldn't be drinking soda."
Yeah,
And he looks at
no
me
soda's
like, "Okay,
bad."
no soda today."
Yeah, well, stay away.
We have a number of our athletes, young 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids that are really taking it more serious. And I try to tell them, even tell my wife, don't buy Gatorade anymore.
Yeah, try to stay away. Making sure that you're getting that water. That water is really going to help with that dehydration.
But but they say, if you dehydration, drink Gatorade.
Yeah, there's G2. Have you seen G2?
Oh, yeah,
That's probably a better option.
Really? Does it have less sugar?
It does have a little bit less sugar. Yep. So maybe take a look at the G2 as well.
Okay, so for the drinks are huge for kids. I mean, let alone, I had a relative that drank back in the day. You may be too young, even Kim, you may be too young. RC
Cola. Yeah.
He drank. I shouldn't say he. He's a relative of mine. He drank 2 to 3 a day.
Oh goodness.
And he went through a life-changing event in his mid 40s. To where today he doesn't drink any soda anymore because he had a life-changing event.
And, for me, it's, slowly cut back.
But wouldn't you think drinking 3 sodas a day is not good?
Yeah, not good. Not good. Yeah. You want to try to cut back as much as you can. And I know people will say, I that's a habit. I normally do this all the time. Slowly cut back if you can. 2 to 1 to then 0.
Hey, what about ice cream? I'm thinking about myself. I love ice cream.
Let's talk about ice cream.
So what is this? Is
ice cream has lots of sugar as well, and
it's same thing, 10 grams or less.
Well, I mean, again, so it'll be very different for all these different types of foods. For me, those are all.
Then?
No, there's not. Oh. So generally, you just want to try to stay away from a lot of that added sugar as much as you can. Natural sugar, so like your fruits and your vegetables are going to have. I mean, not vegetables, but more fruits will have that natural sugar, but it comes with those nutrients and also fiber. So that's what you want to look for. But. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
All right, because I kind of cut out a lot of ice cream because I had always bought Haagen-Dazs ice cream. They're the best, and there's a few other ones that'll go, all of that. But what about salt?
Salt, yeah. So salt, and actually with chronic kidney disease, that's one of the major things that we can kind of take a look at is the amount of salt that you're consuming. And a lot of people think it's coming from the salt shaker. 75% of our salt intake is not coming from the salt shaker. It's actually coming from packaged foods and restaurant foods. So that's where we're getting most of our sodium intake from. And so, that's a really good thing. When you're looking at a food label, a quick tip and guide is looking at the percent daily value at the end of that sodium. So when you're looking at that, 5% or less for that serving is low in sodium. So that's a good tip.
So per serving, though, so like 2 or 3 servings, we need to
You can kind of be careful. Yeah, just be careful.
5% on sodium
is low.
And 10 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just trying to. I got to get this down because that's one of the things. I'm a big proponent of health and exercise. So.
Yeah, and for me, it's also portion control. So you know how I was talking about choosemyplate.gov. That's a great way to really look at your plate and making sure that you're getting all the nutrients you need and then all of the portions that you need as well.
Go back to sodium.
Yep.
Okay, so when I buy potato chips, if I see what's that? 160 calories. But then it says 70 calories from
sodium.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to say from fat actually on the side.
Fat, yeah.
But when you're looking for the salt, try to look for 5% or less on that daily percent value.
Okay.
If it's 10 to 15, that's medium. You kind of caution. And anything that's 20% or higher, you want to stay away from. So that's a pretty simple tip for people.
But I also heard that you have to divide the calories from fat by the total calories. Is that right? Like potato chips are standard, almost all of them are like 160 calories, and then most of them are 60 to 70
from fat.
From fat. That's not good.
No, that's not good. So yeah, if you divide it and then you have that percentage, you'll see
what about
that it's
if
higher.
like 160 from fat and only 30 from that's a good number, right?
Yeah.
Like I think less than 20% you want to have.
Less than 25%.
Okay, there's a few chips, the pop chips.
You have
the
to be
pop
careful
chips
with
are
chips.
relatively healthy.
Yeah.
Healthier.
Healthier.
Okay. All right. But anyway, Tabitha, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tabitha, our dietitian from the National Kidney Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to have a workshop or Tabitha to go and present to your senior group or any group, retired club, or your company to learn about healthy eating, give Tabitha a call at the National Kidney Foundation at 593-1515. And she's more than happy to get out in the community. She's out there all the time, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for listening to our show. Like I said, all these shows will be archived on our website in a couple weeks. And thank you so much. And tell Jeff, thank you so much. You had a great, beginning with Senator Kaka and your big facility in a year or so out. So good job. And we got to help you guys out in the community. So
thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Anyway, I'm Percy Ihara here every Saturday from 5 to 6, Sundays from 3 to 4 here on AM 690 The Answer. And thank you so much for listening to the show. As always, live well and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Aloha.